It is April 13th, Wednesday afternoon. You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. We have very intense storms that are developing and are forecast to develop in the Midwest, including the Great Lakes area. This is all the way from the Gulf Coast to the Great Lakes area, especially going from Arkansas, also extreme north east Louisiana up through southern Indiana. This includes southern Illinois, places just to the south of St. Louis. St. Louis also might be getting severe weather. I think they will, but there already has been thunderstorms that developed in the St. Louis area. And when thunderstorms develop earlier in the day, that reduces the severity of the storms later in the day. Temperatures are not as warm, and in general, the main severe weather risk has moved southeast of St. Louis. That comes from the National Weather Service. Areas yesterday, there were tornadoes all over the Midwest. The states reporting tornadoes were Minnesota, Iowa. These are states that reported severe weather. Iowa certainly did have tornadoes. We had tornadoes in Texas. The hail, that's something that is deserving of a major discussion here. 5.5 inches in diameter in Texas. Bell, Texas, I think it was. Bell, Texas reported, 4.5 inches is grapefruit size hail. That's grapefruit size hail. This was 5.5 inches. Baseball size hail was reported in South Dakota. Now, can you believe this? In the Dakotas, northwest South Dakota was receiving a blizzard, heavy snow. Temperatures were down to 19 degrees at a certain point yesterday evening in a certain town. It starts with a S-P-E-A-R. Spare something in North Dakota. The temperature was 19 degrees around 5 o'clock, while in Omaha, Nebraska, now, if we had a drum roll, we would play this right now. Omaha, Nebraska broke the record yesterday, not just by 1 degree, but by 5 degrees. The record high yesterday in Omaha, Nebraska, the temperature hit 91 degrees. Yeah, 91 degrees. The old record was set back in 1916. This is over 100 years ago. 91 degrees in Omaha, Nebraska. We have just within one state. Some articles are reporting that within one state, within North Dakota itself, you have severe weather, and on the southeast side with warm temperatures and a blizzard on the north. However, the articles might say that, but I can't find any official records of that. You could find it for South Dakota and North Dakota, and maybe later today we'll find it for North Dakota as well. But even those two states alone, it's just unbelievable. Within such a short distance from each other, we have in southern Minnesota, you have the southeastern part of South Dakota, possibly North Dakota, but I found records for South Dakota reported tornadoes yesterday, while the northwest part of South Dakota was experiencing a blizzard, especially areas in North Dakota. We have cities that have received, this is unbelievable, they have received more than 40 inches of snow. And the blizzard continues for today. Another 18 inches expected in some of those places today. Even in the Black Hill area, which I thought was going to not get anything from this storm. It seems like they also got snow. They have 10.5 inches of snow on the ground. And in North Dakota, for some reason, they only have between 12 and 18 inches, but they're expecting another 18 inches, 12 to 18 inches today. So, and we have that along with the 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Yesterday, some areas reported 72 mile per hour wind gusts. We had two areas of severe weather again yesterday on the warm side of the storm. One was in Texas, that area, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and then the other one was north of Missouri, was in the Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota area, even parts of South Dakota. But Minnesota, a lot of stuff happened in Minnesota. There were tornadoes in all of these areas. Missouri kind of escaped yesterday. In Kansas, it didn't really start to get into later in the day. Possibly even, it might have already been, the reports that I saw were more like 1 o'clock this morning. That's when this hail was coming down. Some areas reported hen egg hail to the size of hen eggs, whatever that is, and ping pong ball size hail, and we said already baseball size hail, grapefruit size hail. The official thing only goes up to grapefruit size hail, so the 5.5 inches of hail in diameter in Texas, we don't. I don't know what that is. Bowling ball size hail? I don't really know what it is. I don't know what it's equivalent to. Anyways, out in the, moving away from this country, out in the Middle East, actually, in Eretz Yisrael, in English, in Israel, the ski resort up in northern Israel, the ski resort over this past week. So according to the windy.com app, there's still 6 inches of snow on the ground over there. But if you look at the webcam, the web cameras, you see a lot of that snow melted over this past week, just this past week alone. You look at some of the webcams for South Dakota, North Dakota especially, and Wyoming, you'll see just amazing stuff with the snow. But nothing could be better than actually being there. So storm chasers could go from one extreme to the other within just a few hours. You can experience blizzard conditions, a real blizzard. It even overqualifies. This is overqualified blizzard, along with tornadoes, real tornadoes that are also occurring up in the upper Midwest. This is the type of weather that an ordinary newspaper or regular news might not want to write about it, because it would just make it seem fake. It's how could all this stuff be going on within just a short distance of each other? We had a city in North Dakota. No, I have to get, was it Wyoming or North Dakota, which saw a record yesterday, a record snowfall, and I don't remember how much it is. Sometimes I add imagery to these podcasts, which are on YouTube, so if I do add that, I will try to get that in the background, be able to see it. Anyways, for this afternoon, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch in effect for Arkansas, portions of Louisiana, and other areas in that general area. Forecasters say that the threat for tornadoes is higher today than yesterday. And this storm system that's over in the upper Midwest right now is going to be taking a very unique track. The thing is going to intensify and then kind of remain the same, but it's going to start to move west over the weekend. It's going to start to move west like a hurricane, and it's just going to keep snowing for the rest of today, maybe even tonight. Lots of snow, extremely cold weather, wind chills going down to 20 below zero in some locations. That's what I read. I would have to verify that with the National Weather Service to see where these places are, because it's very hard to believe that. It's very hard. Yeah, but you have places like Stanley, Idaho, so over there you could believe it. You know, it's hard to it's really hard to believe it, because you have whenever you have strong winds, that prevents the temperatures at night from dropping, and when you have no winds, that prevents there from being a wind chill. So that's pretty much all we have for right now. We have an unseasonably cold air mass that's going to be coming into the Midwest following this storm. It's going to stay around, and then a reinforcing shot of cold air comes in for next week. There might even be some snow, even in Chicago next week, perhaps Monday night or so. But today it's really warm. Temperatures are just about 70. They were already pretty close to 70 just at wake up. Just waking up, temperatures were already in the lower and mid 60s. The dew points are also in the low 60s. To give you an idea of how humid it can get here in the Midwest without the cornfields. This is just from the Gulf of Mexico. The water temperatures down there, that has to be looked into. What the water temperatures are down there, but we have dew points up here in the low 60s. That's all from the Gulf of Mexico. And once those cornfields start to blossom, the humidity goes way up. If you're under a south flow from the Gulf of Mexico, a city like St. Louis, a lot of times, many days in the summer, experiences a flow off the Gulf of Mexico, and you combine that with the cornfields, the humidity is actually sometimes higher there than on the Gulf Coast, but this is especially true for Iowa. The thing about Iowa, though, is that the winds are not always from the Gulf of Mexico, but when they are, in the summertime, the Corn Belt, the Midwest Corn Belt, has the highest dew points in the country, and sometimes it even could compete with places on the Persian Gulf, where water temperatures are in the mid-90s in the summertime. I wish everyone a great day. Stay safe. And thank you for listening.